So Vega, edge of the area, Alexander Isak, they've got it back, and Isak has rolled it into the bottom corner. Chelsea gave it away, playing out from their penalty box. Tonali got onto the ball, straight through for Isak, and a one-touch finish into the bottom corner. He scored at Chelsea on Sunday. He scored against them at St James's Park tonight. 23 minutes played. Newcastle United lead 1-0. In a moment, Lewis Hall plays a quick free kick on the line for Isak. Edge of the area, deflected cross, header. It's in! It's in! Newcastle have got a second goal. Isak's ball in was headed on by Joe Willock, and it might have gone in off a Chelsea defender, but they just switched off. Lewis Hall saw that Isak had peeled away, free up the left side. He clipped it in, then the header on, and then a little bit of pinball.
Oh, the float just bobbed.
And it's gone into the net. They have doubled their lead.
That bait must still be frozen. Oh, is it going again? Not sure what's happening there. But I don't like leaving it because there's something there chewing on the bait. There's always a risk that something will get deep hooked, so I'm going to go and give it a go and see what happens. Well, there's your answer. Crayfish. Good morning, and welcome back to the diary. And this is the third session, pike fishing session of the new season. Those of you that are kind enough to follow the channel will know that my first two sessions couldn't have been more different to each other. First one was really successful. I had a lovely fish from the big river down in Yorkshire. Second one was a sort of mess, to be honest. It was a spur of the moment trip, lacked planning, and down on the Spate River in theory, but I ended up having to retreat to a local stretch of canal. I did manage a fish, I didn't blank, but it felt pretty unsatisfactory by way of a day's pike fishing. So needless to say, I've come back to the big river in Yorkshire to see if I can repeat the success of my first session. Tactics are exactly the same. I have a straight ledger rod which I'll use to explore the width of the river, and a float ledger which is likely to be confined to the margins. However, as you've already seen, I may not have picked the best swim. I've got crayfish, so we'll just have to see how this develops, but I've put the margin rod back out, and the float's already trembling, which suggests that there's a lot of crayfish. We'll just have to see how it goes. Lovely morning, lovely autumn morning. Yeah, crayfish for sure. Crayfish in the margins. The ledger rod won't pick up the crayfish quite as easily, I don't think, but we'll just have to see how this goes. But as I say, lovely autumn morning. Got the place to myself almost, I think. and let's just see how we get on. Well, I've lassoed one, but now that gives me a quandary. I've only sorry about that. I've only got sardine baits with me, and so they're soft, and the crayfish will be able to muller them in very short order. I think the only thing I can try is fishing the float ledger setup out in the flow, just to see if they're out there as well. I haven't brought the ledger rod back in yet, so I don't know what I'm going to find when I get to that, but certainly the margins look like they're out of bounds. Well, it's either a very big crayfish or we've got some interest. Lovely. Well, that one beat the crayfish to the bait. Lovely colours, very bright. Super, good start. Well, that seems fit enough. Go and have a sulk now. Well, that was 2 hours and I've just brought the ledger rod in for the first time, and so even out in the main flow the crayfish are there, which gives me a bit of a dilemma, to be honest. Do I pack up and go somewhere else? We've had one nice fish out, or do I sit it out and just feed the crayfish? At the rate I'll go through bait, it's very likely I'll run out of baits. So decision time. I could hike back to the swim that I fished my first session on. I wasn't bothered by crayfish at all there. Or I could go further upstream and try that. The flow and the nature of the water is much the same for a good distance upstream. So what to do? I'll have to give it some thought. Well, I decided I'm going to stick it out. I've got 8 baits. If I leave them an hour each, that's the day gone. So the fact that we've had one fish out of here, there might be another one. And really, I just couldn't face hiking all that way down to the swim I used last time. So we're here for the day. Of course, having now made the decision to stay put, I've been sitting here for the last half an hour thinking, should I have moved? It's a no-win really, isn't it? And I was also thinking, I mean, I fished this stretch of the river many times during a normal pike fishing season, and I can't ever remember having been bothered by crayfish before. Now the Spate River, I've certainly been bothered by crayfish, but not on this stretch of the big river. But then it occurred to me, it's quite early in the season obviously, we haven't had any really cold weather yet, we haven't had a frost, proper frost at all. So the water temperature is probably still quite warm, well, relatively warm. So the crayfish may still be summer active, so to speak. I know we fish, one of the big lochs we fish up in Scotland is stuffed with crayfish. I mean, big crayfish, you get a pan of boiling water, you can have a feast. And we beat them by popping baits up or fishing with eel sections. For some reason, well, the eel section's tough obviously, but for some reason it's almost as if crayfish don't like eel section, and we can get away leaving an eel section in the water for 4 or 5 hours without it suffering at all with the crayfish. And that, after the winter sets in properly up in Scotland, that loch, the crayfish just disappear, hide under a rock or whatever they do. I'm not an expert on crayfish, and I just wonder if it's because it's so early in the season and we haven't had any cold weather, that's why for the first time I'm being bothered by crayfish. Just a theory. Well, well, well. The cast to the far bank has turned up trumps. It's a nice little fish. Well, there you go. That's number 2. Another bonny little fish. Not big, but good fun. Real tiger stripes on that one, aren't there? There she goes. So, the decision to put the ledger rod tight against the far bank turned out to be the right one, which was satisfying. It had only been in there, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, so certainly not long enough for the crayfish to have had any impact. And when I've recast, I tried to put it back in more or less the same place, but it fell a little bit short. But we'll leave it there, see if it'll go off again. Right then, coming up to the last hour and a half, and I've got 2 baits left. So that's a rebait on each rod, and we're down to the last chance saloon time now. I have to say it's been a little bit frustrating today. You're sitting behind rods when you're not sure whether your baits are still fishing for you or not. And that just, I wouldn't say it's stressful exactly, it's just, as I say, just a bit frustrating. So, one more rebait, and then we'll have to call it quits. Well, that's it. Time to go. And the last bait, untouched by crayfish. That's sod's law, isn't it? 2 modest fish, nice fish, but as I say, modest size. Quite enjoyed the day, perfect weather. It's a perfect autumn day. What's next? Well, it's almost certain to be more pike fishing, but where, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to give this one some thought. I hope you've enjoyed this one. As I say, a slightly frustrating day because of the unexpected challenge. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thanks for watching. Before I go, can I just say, for some reason that only YouTube will understand, I've had a big influx of new subscribers, for which I'm very, very grateful. When I first started posting my diary videos, I had a house rule that I wasn't going to badger people to subscribe and like and all that carry on. And I've followed that through all the way through so far, but as I say, for reasons only YouTube will understand, there's a lot of you join me, so thanks very much if you're one of them. I am grateful. It's nice to know that people enjoy what I produce. And so, see you again soon. Bye for now.